What is up, party people? Hello and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another episode of the Cup Chasers Daily World Cup Edition. And of course, the third round is match days, I should say, is heating up. And we're getting the permutations. We're starting to see the picture. We're looking at who's playing who in the knockout stage, how it's all going to come down, how it's all going to work out. What's the opponent, who we're looking for, who we're looking at. And of course, there was tons of action yesterday. Plenty more action coming our way today as well. So make sure you're liking, make sure you're subscribing. Go ahead and get that notification bell on, all the good stuff. You know what time it is already. Big up Lumen already being here, of course, every single time. We are definitely going to get into the permutations and how it all works, of course. But first, Brazil with a resounding victory over Scotland to put the Scots in trouble. Of course, South Africa shocking the entire world with the win over South Korea as Mexico cruise over Czechia. Bosnia punching their ticket as well with a resounding victory against Qatar. And the Canadians fall to the Swiss, but they still go through no problem at all. Second place in the group. Switzerland with Monzambi at the attack going through as group winners. Want to big up Haiti, of course, for their performance versus the Moroccans, giving it a go. Wilson Isidore with an absolute screamer in a fantastic 4-2 game in versus Morocco, I should say. A lot of action yesterday. Lots of stuff to get into, of course. But I want to start with the Swiss and the Canadians. I definitely expected this one to be a tight game, and that is exactly what we got. I thought that perhaps the home field advantage for the Canadians might be able to see them over the line, but the Swiss have found their striker. They've 100% found the guy. He came in he was subbed on in the first game and changed that game. Came into the second one and did really well. And then, of course, leading the line for the third game, gets the game-winning goal in this one. I don't think that game really tells us much as far as going that we didn't already know as far as going forward in the tournament. The Swiss, of course, going to be tough opponents, tough to beat. They have found their man up top. Of course, Vargas getting on the sheet was very important as well. So they're both of their front men looking hot for the Swiss. The Canadians have to lick their wounds. They were almost going to be able to, if they'd have won this game, they would have been able to play in Vancouver for the rest of the tournament in the foreseeable next couple of games at least. So that is a bit of a letdown, but the Swiss get to stick around in Vancouver. They get that spot. And it's so very interesting, all the permutations and how this algorithm works out. The way I understand it, it's already like set. So if the third, it's all about which teams progress into the third place knockout rounds. What's up, Lumen? I was just discussing my opinion of the algorithm here. So it's all about what teams progress as the third place group, as third place in the groups, right? And so, for example, if we're looking at who USA will play, as we have already won Group D, we're going to be playing a third place qualifier from Group B, Group E, or Group F. And the way it works is if the specific group is a specific third place group teams from the group, from specific groups. So it has to be the third place team, all qualify from specific groups in the algorithm. So for Group D, if the third place teams from A, B, C, and D all qualify, all of them qualify. So right now, as it sits, they will, meaning, so we're looking at Korea, we're looking at Bosnia, we're looking at maybe Scotland, and then it would be Paraguay, maybe, as the third place team. We'll see. But if all of that happens, if all four of those groups' third place teams qualify, it means that there's a specific row the matrix will trigger. And that means the Group B third place will play the Group A winner, Group D winner as it sits, right? So everyone's saying that it's looking like we're playing Bosnia. USA is playing Bosnia at the moment, they having finished third in their group. But the thing is, Scotland in Group C as the third place of that team have a horrendous goal difference. They do not have a good goal difference. And so if they end up not going through, that will change. It will change everything. And that means it will trickle down and will play the third place of Group E. So if Scotland or Korea do not make it into the round of 32 because of poor goal difference, let me look at the bracket here, then Group D will move to playing the Group E third place, which is likely to be, well, I don't even know if they're going to make it. I don't even know if either Ecuador or Curacao will make it through. Ecuador played Germany today. So in that case, woof. There might not even be a third place team from Group E, which means we would go down to Group F. Holy crap. There's definitely going to be a third place team. You would expect that. I mean, I don't know. If Japan handles Sweden today, and they should go for it against Sweden to maybe try to win the group outright. I don't know where their head's going to be, though, because if Netherlands are probably going to pump Tunisia, and Japan are probably going to know that Netherlands are going to pump Tunisia. And so their approach to the game versus Sweden is going to be very interesting because Japan are already through on 4 points. So while it sits, we're looking like we might face Bosnia, but it depends on, see, Paraguay are already on 3 points as well. So they might progress. I don't know. Australia need the win too. Australia have to win. See, it's still really, really up in the air. A lot of things I'm saying, oh, we're probably going to play Bosnia, but there's a lot up in the air still. Scotland on a -3 goal difference, man. I'm worried about that. Korea on a negative goal difference as well. When I did my pre-tournament bracket and looked at all the permutations, it felt like you wouldn't make it through on a negative goal difference. Austria, Algeria playing each other would want to finish third so as to avoid Spain. But yes, I hear that. But the problem with that is that today's games are going to change everything. Today's games will change it all, right? So, like, if Ecuador go out, or if Japan beat Sweden by 5 goals, and Sweden have a -5 goal difference, and they go out, like, everything could change today. As far as Austria playing Algeria and wanting to avoid Spain, everything could change. Because if a third place team because if Austria and Algeria draw, they're both through. But of course, one of them will probably play Spain, and it would be Algeria be the third place team, right? So it's all going to change. All the permutations will change. Congo still have a shot to get in. They play Uzbekistan. If Congo can beat Uzbekistan, then they're through as a third place team, and that could change things as well. I'm looking here. Okay, so if Algeria and Austria draw, so that'll take them off of the 3. Congo can't get 3 points. Croatia's on a negative goal difference, but you would expect Croatia to beat. I mean, do we expect Croatia to beat Ghana after that performance they put in versus England, are we expecting to see it? The permutations are still up in the air. So maybe, just maybe, from what I'm looking at here, oh shit, but Saudi and Cape Verde both have a chance to get in as well tomorrow. Yeah, because like if Cape Verde draw, they'll have a positive goal difference and they will leap ahead of Scotland. They'll leap ahead of Korea. If Cape Verde draw, they'll go ahead in the standings of Scotland and Korea, and they should. Oh shit! If Cape Verde draw, they should go through. If Cape Verde can get a positive result versus Saudi Arabia, they should go through. So that's a big one. So yeah, there's plenty of permutations, but it's all about the matrix that's already been set, right? And so as far as Group D is concerned, who the USA will play, it has to have A, B, C, and D third place for us to play. And then it would be in order. So if A, B, C, and D third place, if a third team comes from all four of those groups, we will play the Group B. But say Scotland don't make it. What's up, SC? Hope you're well. Say Scotland don't make it. That'll change. Group D would be playing Group E's third place team. But if there's not a third place team from Group E, it's looking like USA will play the third place from Group F, and that could be shitty. That could be really shitty if we have to play Japan, Sweden, or the Netherlands. Yeah. So as it sits, USA might be playing Bosnia, but of course we have 3 full days of action. Damn, they already have it scheduled. They already have it on the schedule that South Africa are playing Canada. I haven't looked at how the second place work out. Oh, yeah. And so if there's not a third place team from like say Sweden go out, or say Japan smash Sweden and they go out, it goes down to Group I, and then down to Group F, to Group J after that. As far as if there's a third place team. I'm doing great, SC. I'm loving it. I'm loving all this stuff. We're going through the permutations, going through how it works out. But again, there's 3 full days of action to affect the places, the standings, and of course the matrix. And so while it does look like it just depends on. I just feel like a lot of people are sleeping on the fact that having a negative goal difference on only 3 points is squeaky bum time. It's squeaky bum time for Scotland and Korea, for sure. They're going to be cheering hard for some of the stronger teams to knock out the third place guys so that they can get through with that negative goal difference. And Korea, I felt like knew this. Korea, I felt like they knew that these kinds of things were going on. Czechia didn't really show up. They had a chance, but I mean, come on. Beating Mexico at the Azteca Stadium is going to take some doing. That's going to take a Herculean effort from anybody. Spain are going to labor there. Freaking France will labor to beat Mexico at the Azteca. I'm telling you right now that they are by far and away the best 12th man in the tournament. I mean, beating USA at Lumen Field in Seattle has never been done ever in a competitive match. The USA are 7-0 in Seattle. So that's going to take some doing as well. But that Azteca, man. Ooh, dude, I want to be there. I want to go there for a Mexico game. I want to go to the Azteca for a Mexico game because that looks like one of the greatest atmospheres that this World Cup can produce or has produced, and it's exciting stuff. Mexico, of course, perfect in the group stage 3 wins, 9 points, crushing life. So they're doing great. Of course, Czechia never really stood a chance, unfortunately. I was shocked that they didn't start Patrick Schick in that game. Very interesting choice for me. They still could have gone through if they'd have scraped a draw, maybe. But it was never meant to be. The other game in that group was the one that really blew me away. I was shocked because, I mean, South Africa were so poor in the first game. It was the disaster of all World Cup disasters to open. You go down to 9 men, you embarrass yourself on the global stage, and you know, and it was looking bleak in the game versus Czechia too, man. It was looking really, really bleak. They didn't really offer much. Czechia's defense is resolute for the most part. You can't really say that about last night's game, but they, in general, are really tough to score against. And the late winner for Bafana to keep them alive was, I mean, even then that was a shock. And I was thinking, man, are these guys, then there's no way South Africa are going to scrape through. There's no way they scrape through. I figured Korea would absolutely smash them. But in a game where the Koreans knew that it wasn't done, they were on an even goal difference on 3 points. It wasn't done. I don't know what the coach said to them, if he just expected to keep South Africa in front of them and not concede. You know, maybe he took them a little bit lightly based on their, you know, kind of barely scraping through just to be alive in this third game. And I think there was a philosophy problem from South Korea. They kind of, I mean, I don't want to call it arrogance, but they just didn't come out to play. They just didn't, I mean, they didn't show up at all in this game. It was slow. It was methodical. It was like they hadn't really studied what South Africa were going to do, and were a little bit surprised by their speed, by their verve, passion, and drive. And they were, I mean, fairly beaten. You have to give South Africa an absolute big up because I did not expect this at all. Going through second place in the group. And yeah, I mean, it's not going to be fun to play Canada in Vancouver. Or no, it's at SoFi, actually. So it's actually not really a home game for Canada. It's in Los Angeles. So South Africa, man, they've done themselves an absolute miracle. And now they're playing Canada in the round of 32, and that's going to be a hotly contested game. That right there, this Sunday. I mean, you would expect the Canadians as a host, but I also expected Czechia to beat South Africa, and I expected Korea to beat South Africa. So big up Bafana, man, because they are certainly getting hot at the right time here, and that's going to be a spicy one in Inglewood on Sunday. Absolutely will. Good for them, man. You love to see that kind of shit. Good for them. I also wanted to big up Haiti for their performance versus the Moroccans in Atlanta. Obviously, Haiti were already out, but they have 100%, 150 million% surprised everyone and availed themselves very, very well. They've definitely earned my respect, and I think should earn the respect of the greater footballing world, of course, because they didn't have to come out and play like that. Wilson Isidore didn't have to score an absolute banger. What a laser beam from Isidore, man. The second man at Sunderland, who, big up Sunderland, by the way, every single time. Holy shit, that their impressive season still impresses me. It's still impressing me because now the guys that brought them through, the guys that were a major part of Sunderland, finishing 7th, by the way, after a promotion, are lighting it up in the tournament. Big up Granit Xhaka, of course, and the Swiss. Wilson Isidore with an absolute banger. Of course, Brian Brobby's putting in work. Man, these guys at Sunderland, they've got 12 players in the tournament, actually. More than Real Madrid, and they're absolutely killing it. And yeah, man, these price tags are rising. These stocks are rising, that's for sure. But of course, the Moroccans, man, they're going to be tough. Morocco's going to be tough to knock out of this tournament. I'm telling you right now. They didn't expect Haiti to come out with such verve, such passion, and such drive, but they were able to handle it, able to get their scoring boots on as well. And it looks like, according to the schedule, that Morocco's place is already set, and they are going to be against the Group F winner. Oh me, oh my, whoever it is, that game is going to be, chef's kiss, man. Whoever, it's looking like it's going to be the Dutch. I expect, unless the Netherlands completely shit the bed today and put out the second team, don't take it seriously and hold an L. Even if they draw, like so if they draw, I mean, there's still an outside shot that Japan win this group. Actually, there's a shot that Japan win this group. I mean, obviously crazy scenes if Tunisia beat Holland and Sweden beat Japan, then Sweden win the group. I don't see that happening unless Netherlands completely just say F it and Tunisia beat them, which I just don't see that happening. It's looking like the Dutch versus the Moroccans in the round of 32. My God, what a game that's going to be. What a game that's going to be, people. Whoo, my goodness, I'm pumped for that. That's going to be a lot of fun, of course. But like I say, man, the group F is up in the air, and we've seen some shocks from teams that we didn't expect. You know, I did not expect Haiti to play like that, being out already. So Tunisia will have the freedom. They're out already. They're going to, I mean, if they come on smoke and Netherlands can't handle it, whoo, look out. The group's up in the air for Japan or Sweden to take it. And so Sweden are definitely going to come for it. Japan know they have to go for it too. That is the game to have your eye on today, people. That's the game. Obviously, Paraguay and Australia, a big game tonight to have your eye on as well for their permutations. Turkey versus United States doesn't matter even one jot. Of course, I'll have I'll be watching that, obviously. But yeah, man, the big games to look for today: Netherlands and Tunisia, Japan and Sweden. That group is wide open, and depending on that result, Morocco are definitely looking at that group very, very closely. That will be the winner of that will be who they play. I expect it to be the Dutch, and that will be absolutely amazing as a round of 32 game. And hey, Brazil are going to be looking at that group too, because whoever finishes second in that group have to play Brazil. Holy crap. That sucks. And so Japan and Sweden and Netherlands, they're all going hell for leather. There is no way that the Dutch haven't looked at these permutations, haven't looked at what could happen. You got to win the group. You have to win the group. Yeah, I mean, you're staring down Brazil or Morocco. You'd rather take Morocco, obviously, even though that's going to be a tough game. You know, I would much rather personally. So the Dutch are going to beat Tunisia. They're not going to fuck around at all. And Japan and Sweden, the Japan-Sweden game is the game to watch today because they're both going to be going at, they both have to win. Must win. Absolute must win for both those teams. That's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. Big up Gyökeres. Big him up. Hopefully he can put some work in tonight for the Swedes. But yeah, that's going to be dynamite in the next round, depending on the permutations there. Of course, Curacao are playing Ivory Coast today, and Ecuador are playing Germany. We can look at the permutations for that group as well. Let's get over here to the standings. And they are Group E. So we'll come back over here to the schedule. I like that ESPN has already put the teams that are locked into their spot are already there. So let's see here. Where is my Group E winner? So Group E second place plays Group I second place. Group F winner, Group F second place. All right, let's go one more day because it will show me a little bit more of. All right, it still hasn't shown me the Group E winner. Come on. Show me the whole schedule. Let's see here. Ooh. So Group H, second place. That's not what you want. You don't want to finish in second place in Group H. I'll tell you that right now because they are playing playing Argentina. For Group H, second place. Wow, okay. They don't have where the Group E winner is going to play listed. Why not? Whatever. Doesn't matter. But today, yeah. Let me look at the standings again to see what the permutations are for Germany. Germany probably, they are playing Ecuador. I expect Germany to beat Ecuador today. Although Ecuador definitely going to come for it, definitely going to go for it. They have to. They have 1 point, and a win would get them to 4, definitely get them through. You would expect Ivory Coast to beat Curacao, but then I expected Ecuador to beat Curacao as well. So it is definitely going to be interesting if Curacao pull a shock, man. They have to win, though. They have to win. They can't just get the draw. The 0-0 draw will not do. So Curacao, we're going to have to go for it, and that probably spells their doom. And Ecuador are not going to be able to play like they normally play either. I think the Germany-Ecuador game will come down to how seriously Germany take that one. Having already beaten the Ivory Coast, Germany are Group E winners. That's why the Group E winner wasn't on the schedule, is because it's already penciled in for the Germans. And they will play one of the third place teams. The A, B, C, D, or F. Obviously, I haven't looked as closely at that permutations. So it's probably going. So if it's third place from A, well, see, that's the thing. Is there going to be a third place team from Group A? Yeah, that's the question. That's the question. It's looking like if Korea make it through, Germany will play South Korea, but I'm very hesitant to guarantee the Koreans are going to make it through on that negative goal difference. So that one might change. If nothing else changes, then USA probably play Bosnia. That means that it goes to the next one for Germany. Let me look back at it again. Here, it would go to Group C, the third place team from that one. And again, I don't think Scotland's going to make it. So that means that it goes to the next one for Germany, which would be Group D. Now imagine if, let's look at Group D. Yeah, the game that matters today, the game that matters in Group D today, Australia versus Paraguay. Australia are in a better spot with a better goal difference. So if Australia get the draw versus Paraguay, or I should say if Paraguay get the draw versus Australia, your fate, it will probably be Germany. Woof. So they're both going to go for that. They're both got to go for that game. You got to go for that one. If Paraguay lose, they're in trouble because they'll be on like a -3, at least goal difference on only 3 points with that win over Turkey. And so they have to go for this one as well. So that means the games that are hell for leather today will be Japan versus Sweden, and then Australia versus Paraguay. 2 teams that definitely surprised us a little bit, you know. I guess obviously the biggest surprise in Group D is that Turkey were awful so far. What's up, Hanno? Hope you're well. Pick up the chat every single time. Hope everyone's doing well. Make sure you like and make sure you are subscribing, notification, all that good stuff. But yeah, the Australia-Paraguay game is going to be big. The winner of that will progress as second place. If Paraguay win by 1 goal, a 1-0, Australia might maybe scrape through. Maybe. Paraguay and USA to win. Well, USA winning doesn't really mean anything. We've already won the group, and Turkey, it won't matter. Because of head-to-head, they've lost to Australia and Paraguay. So if they draw them, the head-to-head is the first tiebreaker, and they're out anyway. But if Paraguay win, that's big. If Paraguay win, that's very, very big for them. They'll go through in second place. Yes, I understand, Hanno. I'm running on fumes myself, trying to watch all the games, trying to do this show every morning. I understand completely. But I'm loving every second of it. Loving every single second of it. Absolutely am. So I definitely think that the Ivory Coast only on 3 points. They know they have to take care of business today. I don't see an upset there. And so they're probably gonna handle business. Of course, I'll have to come at them. But I think USA will win just to keep the momentum. I don't know though. Turkey will probably want to come out and play for pride and show that they're not as bad as they've been in the tournament. Ivory Coast in trouble. Yeah. If they don't get a result today, they're definitely in trouble. They're definitely in trouble if they lose. That would be crazy. That would be absolutely crazy if Curacao beat Ivory Coast. They'd be in a lot of trouble. But let's see who the Group E second place will have to play should Ivory Coast win their game today. It says here Group E second place is playing Group I second place. Let me go and find Group I. Oh boy. Oh boy. Hanno, you're right. Ivory Coast are in trouble no matter what. So they definitely, not confident for sure. Ivory Coast got to win. Ooh. They got to win to get through is the problem. Ivory Coast have to win to get through is the problem, because if they lose and go negative with only 3 points, they're in trouble of not even progressing at all as a third place team. And so, damn, when they win, oh no, that group's already set too. It's actually not. The group I is actually not set. Oh no. But it's Ivory Coast are in trouble. Hanno, you're right. Ivory Coast are in trouble regardless, because Group I is France, Norway. Woof. Woof. And they're playing off against each other, a head-to-head battle for the top of the group. So if Norway pull a shock, which I don't see happening, but if they do, Ivory Coast have to play France. No. Oh, man. But what I expect to happen, what is more logical, thinking that Ivory Coast will win their game and be second, and France will win their game, and Norway will be second. We're probably looking at Ivory Coast playing Norway in the round of 32. Another spicy matchup, another very fun matchup that will be. But yeah, Ivory Coast can't think about that, really. They got no choice. You have to win this game, because if Curacao embarrass you today, you might not make it. You might not make it. A loss means negative goal difference and third place in the group. I just don't see that happening. I don't see that happen. If France-Norway is a draw, France have a better goal difference, so they will be first and Norway will be second in the group. Ivory Coast would still play Norway. But let's see who the winner of Group I will be playing, which more than likely will be the French. They will get a third place team from C, D, F, G, or H, depending on the permutations. And so, like I say, I'm not certain that Scotland are going to go through in third place in Group C. Oh, damn. That could be bad. If Paraguay beat Australia and Scotland don't go through, but Australia goes through as third place in Group D, they got to play France. Oh, no. Oh, no. Nobody wants to play France. That's not good. That is a real oh no for whoever ends up going through. But again, it's very possible that they don't go through on a negative goal difference on only 3 points because there's a lot more games to play, of course, which would mean that someone from Group F would get France. Oh, yeah. So you don't want to finish. You really just don't want to finish third. The teams that are in trouble and might finish third, but could, like Australia, Paraguay. It's hell for leather, baby. You got to go for it. You have to go for it. You cannot finish third. You gotta go for it there. No matter, Paraguay, Australia. Yeah, that's gonna be fun. That's gonna be way more exciting than I expected Australia, Paraguay to be when we saw from the beginning of the tournament. That game is gonna be fun because both teams absolutely have to have it. Because you want to go through, of course, regardless of who you're playing, but you don't want to play France, man. You don't want to play Germany. Oh God, yeah, same goes for Japan, Sweden. The exact same thing goes for Japan, Sweden. You got to finish second in the group to avoid an absolute soul-crushing fixture. There's France or Germany. Hanno says, trust in the Aussies. I've just been really surprised by Paraguay. I was surprised even that they came out and even in getting destroyed versus USA, that they came out and were able, to show a little bit versus the US. And I did expect them to really sit back and defend. And they were able to get forward a lot more than I thought versus Turkey. And so two teams that like to sit back and defend and go and, and kind of make sure that everything is tight at the back before they go forward, defense first, someone's going to have the ball. Australia and Paraguay, two teams that aren't necessarily as comfortable on the ball. Someone's going to have to take charge and have the ball. It's probably going to be the Aussies. Probably going to be Australia, if I had to guess. Japan tops the group, and so maybe we face them in the round of 16. Hanno, are you saying we, as in Australia, face them in the round of 16? I think that'd be a good matchup. I think that'd be a very good matchup for you guys if you are indeed referring to the Aussies. I also would like Japan to top the group because DraftKings got me with one of those promo bets at the beginning of the tournament to pick a group winner as a futures bet, but they had to have a certain amount of certain long odds to make sure I'd get the promo, and I picked Japan. Oh, South Africa, Hanno, your fate is set. South Africa already know who they're playing. Their fate is in the books. Sunday, June 28th, SoFi Stadium, 3:00 my time, noon local time, South Africa versus Canada. I'm pretty sure that's already set in stone. I mean, it's already listed. It's already listed on the schedule for ESPN. So it's looking like South Africa and Canada are already going to be playing. I could be wrong. I was wrong that one time in my life, just once. So it has happened one time. Not very often, people, but I could be wrong. Who knows? But it looks like, according to ESPN, that game is already set to be played, South Africa versus Canada, which is a good matchup, I think, for both teams. Should be fun, of course. But yeah, as it sits today, the games that have, they all have some pressure on them, of course. Every game except Turkey and US That game is the only actual dead rubber of the day. Obviously, the USA want to keep the pressure, want to keep on going, keep the momentum. And so I think Pochettino definitely needs to find a balance between keeping the momentum going and resting guys. Obviously, Tyler Adams on a yellow shouldn't play. Anthony Robinson, I think, is on a yellow, shouldn't play. I do think Pulisic should get some minutes, not the whole game. I think he should get some minutes. But yeah, this one's more about pride for Turkey, just showing that they're not the horrendous team that they brought to the tournament, and a little bit of pride, show up for the flag. And the U.S., no one on the U.S. with a yellow card should play at all, in my opinion. That slate, of course, gets wiped clean after the group stage. And so I think that some players like perhaps Tim Weah and perhaps Ricardo Pepi, maybe even Gio Reyna should get some minutes in this game, flush out the rest of the squad, and let some of the guys that haven't necessarily played get some minutes, at least in this one. But you don't want to completely sacrifice the momentum we have built. It's a very unique situation for the USA. There is literally zero precedent for the U.S. to have clinched the group after 2 games. So it's new territory for the USA, and we'll see how they navigate it. I think that I mean, what a spot to be in. Absolute luxury spot to be in. Yes, Canada, but then it's Morocco. No, oh, I see what you're saying, Hanno. You're already counting chickens, bro. You're already saying we're through. We're going to beat Canada, and then it's Morocco or Netherlands and Japan in the round of 16. Yeah, hey, I hear you. I hear you. Of those 3, you'd much rather play Japan for sure, because if South Africa come up against Morocco or the Netherlands, that is long day, as they say in England. That's going to be a tough matchup. But of course, the deeper you go in the tournament, you got to beat the best to be the best. So of course, some tasty fixtures on the horizon for us all. I'm pumped, man. I'm so excited about all the permutations, all the games going on today, of course. And yeah, the hits just keep on coming, and we'll continue to see the bracket will get even more fleshed out. The Aussies and the White Ferns to join us. Yeah, I would expect. I do expect Australia to beat Paraguay today. Yeah, that game is certainly going to be. I think of all the games today, it's going to be one of the most fun. Japan and Sweden, of course, also going to be one of the good games to look for today. But who knows? Ecuador might surprise us. Germany might be half asleep at the wheel, haven't already won the game. And, there's been some shocks already. So Curacao might do something crazy versus Ivory Coast. They have to win, though, and I just don't see them actually winning the game. They might stink out a draw, but that won't be good enough, which leads me to believe that they're going to go forward a lot more. And we all know Ivory Coast going the other way is deadly, lethal. And so that's going to be really, really tough for the tournament debutantes. And who knows, Tunisia playing for pride as well. And the Netherlands, of course, I don't know, man. The Netherlands, if you've actually looked at their tournament record right now, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. They've lost. They don't lose, man. They've lost like twice since 2010. Ecuador win and Ivory Coast draw will put Ecuador in second place. Would put Ecuador in second place in the group. Absolutely would. Ivory Coast would fall to third. Well, see, that's the thing, SC. Paraguay are also playing like that. They also have played the sit and counter style. So who wants the ball in that game, SC? Somebody's got to have the ball. Somebody, both teams can't be sit and counter here. Here you go. You have possession here. We don't want the ball. Both teams can't do that. Are we gonna see Haram? Is it gonna be Arsenal versus Atletico? Is it gonna be Haram versus Haram today? SE says Paraguay are much better. We shall see. That is the clash tonight. That's the big one in Group D, of course. But yeah, it's going to be a fun day in the tournament, of course. I've certainly enjoyed it. I've certainly enjoyed doing these videos. And if you have, go ahead and smash up the likes. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. I do appreciate all the support. We do have 3 Facts World Cup videos coming at you today. So make sure you got that notification bell on as well. I'm going to wrap it up right here. I do appreciate the support. Definitely looking forward to all the games. I hope you are as well. Thanks again. And you will see me.